Hey, what's up you guys? It's your dad, and today I'm going to be telling you guys a story. But yeah, I usually don't make story times like this because it's weird for me. And I don't know. I just want to make videos to help people. I feel like I've talked about this before. This happened to me, so I want to share it with you guys. So if you guys want to see more story times like this or more videos from me, don't forget to click on the subscribe button down here. Give this video a thumbs up, and let's just get into it. So I'm going to start all the way from the beginning when I met this person, because I don't want you guys to think I'm crazy for putting up with all the shit that I put up with. So basically, me and this kid matched forever ago on Tinder, and we never actually met up. We never planned on meeting up. We just kind of saw each other at the mall one day, and we walked past each other and we were like, hey, I know you. And it was really weird. We just talked from there, and we were getting to know each other. And when we first were talking, he would always be like, every guy I ever talk to gives up on me and treats me like shit, and I need you to prove to me that you're not gonna be like that person, you're gonna treat me right. And he was telling me how he had all these trust issues and how he had all these bad experiences dating in the past, which should have been a red flag for me right there, but I don't know. He seemed like a really sweet kid, and I wanted to get to know him. But yeah, also I feel like this story time makes me look really pathetic, because I'm a hopeless romantic. So yeah, I'm kind of embarrassed to tell this story, but so anyways, after a couple dates, he basically comes up to me and he's like, listen, I want you to be my boyfriend, but you have to promise me one thing. Just don't ever give up on me. Just please be loyal to me. Show me you care. Don't ignore me. Just be a good boyfriend. And that's pretty much what I did. I really liked the kid. I really wanted to prove to him that I was the one. I don't know, I thought he was perfect at the time. No, I don't. So a month later, we start having some issues in the relationship, like every relationship has. And then the issues we'd have would turn to him telling me I need to quit doing YouTube, or I need to quit doing stuff that makes me happy, and basically just told me that I suck. He would always make me feel bad for being shirtless. That's why I'm shirtless. And he made me feel bad for posting pictures on Instagram and having a lot of likes and having a lot of comments, and he basically told me I was an attention whore, and he didn't like that. But I told him you can have my Instagram password, you can look through all my stuff, I'm not talking to anybody, you're the only person that I'm talking to, you're the only person I care about. And he didn't care, he just hated it. I just remember one time I talked to him about how he was treating me, and I didn't like it, and I just was kind of standing up for myself. He turned the whole thing around, and he was telling me you're crazy, I'm sure you've cheated on me before because you didn't text me back for an hour and this and that, when really I would just be doing something getting dinner with my family. I never cheated on the kid. I was literally the perfect boyfriend to him. And at the end of the fight, it would always end up with me apologizing and saying I'm sorry, when really he was the one treating me like shit the whole time. So we're still in this relationship a week or two later, and he mentions to me that his birthday is coming up and he's gonna be 20. And he wanted to go to Canada for his 20th birthday, because when you're 20, you can't drink in the US, but you could drink in Canada. You only have to be 19 to drink there, I think. So we planned this big trip to Canada, and I don't know, I just feel nothing was good enough for him. I paid for everything. The only thing I didn't pay for was the gas to get there, because he always wanted to drive his car for some reason, I don't know why. And he told me oh, my dad will give me his credit card so I can pay for the gas, but you pay for the hotel and everything else, and it'll be my birthday present, whatever. And I was okay. So I pick out the exact hotel he wanted and everything, and he tells me that he wants the bigger hotel. And he told me it wasn't good enough. He told me he wanted a bigger hotel, so I was okay, fine, because I was trying to prove to him I really liked him. He begged me to from the very beginning. And I even told him that. I was listen, remember when you said show me you care and show me how much you like me? Everything you asked me to do, I bend over backwards for you, and I do it. And of course he gave me a hard time about it, but whatever. I ended up getting the bigger room, which thank God I did, because when I get later into the story, you guys will understand. So fast forward a couple weeks later, and it's his birthday. So he comes to pick me up from my house, and we drive to Canada, which is a 3-4 hour drive from my house in Ohio. And the week before his birthday, his parents took him on this beautiful cruise, whatever, and he didn't have phone service for the whole week. So basically the whole drive, he was just asking me what I was doing while he was gone, who I was talking to, who I was hanging out with, and I just felt like he thought I was cheating on him or something, because I don't know, that kid was really paranoid. And I don't know, I just don't remember the drive being great. I remember I just wanted to hold his hand and just be all excited to be just in the same car as him, with him. I hadn't seen him in a week, and I was just really excited to see him. And he was just what were you doing this day? And he was just like mad about every little thing that like was going on in his brain. Like he literally, in his brain, thought I was the shittiest fucking boyfriend ever, when really, I didn't do anything wrong. I was literally like always there for him. I wrote him, this is actually really embarrassing. He asked me to like write him notes and stuff while he was on his trip, because like we couldn't text. And he said he'd write me notes. So I wrote him like 1 note a day, just being like, so today I did this, this, and this. And like literally wrote out my whole entire day for the kid while he was on his cruise. And I'm like, I got you these notes. And he literally like looked at them, he's like, oh thanks, didn't even read them, like didn't care. I don't even think he ever read them. And I was like, did you write me any? And he was like, oh no, I didn't have time. Which like, I don't know. I just like, I get you on a cruise, but like if you're gonna tell me you're gonna write me like a bunch of notes, at least like write me 1 or something. I don't know. But he literally didn't write me any notes, which is kind of shitty. And I don't know, just like the whole car ride to Canada was pretty shitty. That's all I gotta say about that. Okay, so we finally get to the border of Canada, and I don't know why, every time I go to the border of Canada, I get detained. It's weird. If that ever happens to you, let me know in the comments below, because literally every time I go, they detain me at the border. They search all my stuff, and they're like, oh, you don't have anything that we don't want in our country. And then like, they let me through. Anyways, we get detained, they check our stuff, everything's good. So since I got the hotel online, they emailed me all of like the information when I checked in, and the Wi-Fi password was in there, and they just told me if I wanted to log into the Wi-Fi, I would have to go in my email to get it. So we get up to our hotel, and the first thing he asked me is, what's the Wi-Fi password? And I'm like, I can't get it because it costs money for me to turn my phone off airplane mode and use data to go to my email to get that. And he's just like throwing a fit, all pissed off. He's like, go downstairs and ask them for it right now. I need the Wi-Fi password. So I go downstairs, talk to the people, I explain my whole situation. They're like, there's a computer over here, go log into your email, you can get the password, whatever. So I log in with the computer, get the password, write it in my phone, give it to my boyfriend at the time. Like just the whole time we're in Canada, like I just wanted to have like me and him time. The whole time we're in Canada, he was on his phone, like texting people, not really talking to me. So we got to dinner, we actually didn't bring our phones because we couldn't use them there. We just like walked on the strip, found something, sat down, ate, and he just like didn't really talk to me much at dinner. Like the whole trip was literally like so shitty, not gonna lie. So when we left the hotel before, I remember vividly, we left our phones right next to each other, like on the table, and we walked to our destination. When I came back, I was the first one in the hotel room because I had the key, and I go over to my phone to check it, and there's literally like this one boy, I don't remember his name, but he kept like texting him over and over and over again. And the boy's name had a heart next to it. And one of the texts, I didn't open his phone or anything, but one of the texts said, ew, why are you in Canada with your ex-boyfriend? Before this point in the relationship, I never questioned him on anything. I never asked him like where he was or when he didn't text me back, like what he was doing. Like, I just trusted him because he would always tell me from like day one, like I just want that perfect relationship. I want a relationship where I could trust my partner, blah, blah, blah. So I just thought like, that's what he was. He was trustworthy. So yeah, I never asked him any of that stuff. I always just figured he was really insecure and just like cared, and that's why he was asking me that, not, I don't know, not because he was doing it himself. So I'm pissed because I did all this stuff for this kid. I paid for the hotel, I paid for his dinner. I was always so nice to him. I don't know, I was just like a good person to this kid. Like I never did anything wrong. So at this point, I'm pissed. So I literally just straight up call him out on it. I'm like, so why did this boy just say, why are you with your ex-boyfriend? So he kind of just got all frustrated and got pissed off and basically was telling me that I'm crazy for looking through his phone when I literally just looked at the home screen that was getting blown up with text messages from some random boy that I didn't know. And he was trying to explain it was his best friend, which I knew all of his friends. I used to hang out with his friends all the time. We were together a month back, and I knew all of his friends, so I knew that was a lie. I'd never heard of the kid's name that was on the phone, and it had a heart next to his name, so like why would you lie? He basically like told me I was overthinking and just like I shouldn't even worry about it, and the whole thing is just like a misunderstanding and I should stop overthinking. I'm the crazy one, he's completely in the right. I was just like, at that point I was just like so hurt because I did everything I could in my power to make the trip perfect for him. So I just kept digging like deeper and deeper to try to get something out of him. Like I'm like, do you understand? Like I'm just saying this because I care. I'm not like, I don't hate you. And I was literally just trying to explain to him, just tell me the truth. I won't be mad. Just because I wanted to know so bad. And like I still did really like the kid because like the whole time we were dating in my head, I thought he was this perfect kid that he made himself out to be. So I'm literally just asking him all these questions, trying to figure out what's going on. And he gets up from the table. He's sitting across from me. He gets up and literally punches me in the face. Like straight, like in my nose. he like grabs my neck and starts choking me and like pushes me down on the bed, and I'm like pulling his hands off, and I was like screaming. I was like, help, help, literally screaming my brains out. I literally thought I was gonna die there. In that bed in Canada, I was so fucking scared. Like so much was running through my head at the time. I was like I'm literally about to die. And I was just screaming and like pulling his hands off of me, and he like punched me in the face one more time. And I think he like realized what he was doing, and like I was just being really fucking loud. Like you could hear me screaming from like 5 doors down, I'm sure. Like it was blood curdling screaming. He literally gets up and he's like, fuck you, and I don't even know, like he was pissed. I got up and my nose was like bleeding really bad, like all down my face, and I was like wiping it off. It was literally like a movie, and I had like, not a handful of blood, but I had blood all over my hand. I was like, look what you did. I was like pissed, and I was just like so freaked out. Like I got up and I looked at myself in the mirror, and I was like, how? Like how did I get to this point in the relationship where he's just like beating the shit out of me now? And I was just like, everything's so perfect, like how could this have happened? And I was like I don't know, he like brainwashed me into thinking the relationship was so perfect, and really, now that I look back on it, it was so shitty. Like when I look back at it now, I put in all the work, I did everything for the kid, and I think he did like maybe 1 or 2 like small things in the beginning here or there that like to me meant so much, and like in my head I was like, wow, he cares so much. Like he got me a Valentine's Day present, or just like something tiny, like something that like a normal boyfriend should do, you know? When I looked at myself in the mirror, I kind of realized like it wasn't just like one day everything's fine and the next day he punched me in the face. Like it started off with him like a couple months before telling me like, quit your YouTube channel, you suck at everything you do. Like just putting me down and making me feel like I should just be exactly like him. Like he didn't want me to be myself, he didn't want me to post pictures on Instagram. He was allowed to post whatever he wanted, but I couldn't. Like he literally wanted me to be like perfect for him, but there was just, I don't know, what I'm trying to say is like there was never any perfect moment in the relationship. It was always like kind of just like one thing led to another, led to like him finally punching me in the face. Like the whole thing, he was like mentally abusive, physically abusive, the whole relationship was like that. And it's not just like one day it happens out of nowhere. I feel like everything like leads up to it, but you don't really see it coming because you're so like blinded by love. Wow, that's cheesy. But yeah, the whole relationship was basically him manipulating me, and once I started piecing stuff together and questioning him about the text message, he couldn't lie anymore, and he just hit me because he didn't, like I just feel like he didn't know what else to do. So he's in the other room because the hotel has 2 rooms and whatever. Oh, meanwhile, while all this is happening, security is knocking on our door, and I like cleaned up my nose, I was like holding it. It was so embarrassing. Security's knocking on the door and he opens it, and I'm in the background like I don't know, I was crying, so I don't even know like what I look like. I probably look like shit. And security's like, hey, is everything okay? We had like so many noise complaints. They heard screaming, they wanted to make sure everything was fine. And I was like, yeah, everything's fine, whatever. He said everything was fine, and like the security was like, okay, well, if you need anything, and just kind of like closed the door and like left us back in that room again. My boyfriend comes over to the room I'm in again, and he's like, you're fucked. And I was like, what? And he's like, you're fucked. And I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, your passport's in my car, and I'm leaving early tomorrow, and if you're not up when I'm up, I'm leaving you in Canada, and you're just fucked. You're stuck in Canada. So I tried to talk to him. I was like, listen, I know we just had like this huge fight, but could we just like stay in Canada? I paid for 3 nights at this hotel. Like I wanna, you know, work things out and just have a good time in Canada, even if we don't end up dating in the future. Like, could we just stay in Canada for 3 days? Like I paid for all this. I wanna have a good time. We don't have to like talk. We can just like literally do our own thing. And he was like, no, we're leaving for Canada first thing in the morning, and if you're not up, you're fucked. And I was like, wow, we haven't even been in Canada for 24 hours and all this happened and we're leaving. So literally we're gonna be in Canada for 24 hours and we're done. And we're so excited for this trip. We had this all planned out, but whatever, he didn't care. I mean, I'm over it now, but at the time I was really upset about everything, a lot of things, but I was just like, wow, I really fucking went all out for this kid, and he gives no fucks. He gives no shits about me. So I locked myself on my side of the hotel room. I slept so shitty that night. He was on the other side. I kept waking up. I literally would wake up, go look to make sure he was still there. Even though it was like 3 in the morning, I I would wake up every hour literally just to make sure he didn't leave me, because I was so scared of being left in Canada because my passport was in his car. On top of that, I was just upset about everything. I ended up checking out of the hotel early. I asked them for a discount or a refund, and they said, nope, you didn't cancel 24 hours beforehand, so we can't give you a discount, even though you're checking out early and you have 2 more days here. On the drive home, we just like, it was really awkward. We didn't talk much, and by the end, he finally was like, hey, I think we should still be friends, even though we're never gonna date again. And just like, I don't know, he was just rude. Like, he was mean about it, but like, I guess what he was saying made sense. But he was like, you know, this is all your fault, right? And it, like, just, the whole thing was so stupid. Anyways, I was like, okay, so if we're gonna be friends, do you wanna pay for half of the hotel room that like, I paid the whole thing for? And he like looks at me and laughs. He literally, I'm not even kidding you, this was the worst part, like, about everything, I guess. One of the worst parts. He like looked me like straight in the face, and he was like, and we were literally like, this is when we got back to my house, and he's like, you know that I just wanted a free trip to Canada, right? And I was like, what? And he's like, I never liked you. I just wanted a free trip to Canada, and you gave it to me, so thank you for the birthday present. And then he dropped me off. He left my house and basically texted me saying he hated me and he hoped he'd never see me again. So yeah, that was great, thanks. If you're watching this, thanks. There was no closure, no nothing, literally just thanks for the free trip to Canada, I hate you, peace out, like have a good life. The funny thing though is he texted me a year later and told me he was actually sorry about everything. He said we both fucked up, even though I swear I never did anything to this kid. And he was basically just like asking me to come back in his life. But like in a really, like, I don't know how to explain this. Like in a really fucked up way, like I'm not happy it happened to me, but like, I feel like I learned a lot from it. And now if I'm not even like a relationship, just like if anybody treats me like shit, I just like, no, you're not a good person. I don't want you in my life. I don't take their shit, and I just get the fuck out of the relationship, you know? Like the friendship, the relationship, anything. Like if someone treats me bad, or like, I guess I just learned what I deserve. But I feel like I grew so much from the experience. Like, it sucks that I spent all that money. It sucks I wasted all the time in the relationship. But like, I grew as a person. I'm stronger now. And I just know like the people I do and don't need in my life. I literally just found this quote online because I was looking at quotes about growing from experiences. Until you're broken, you don't know what you're made of. It gives you the ability to build yourself all over again, but stronger than ever. And I just like feel like that's what happened to me. But like, I don't know, like looking back, I just remember all I wanted was a boyfriend. I didn't care like how they treated me. I just wanted to be in a relationship. But I think I just learned like my self-worth and what I deserve and what I don't deserve from the whole situation. And hopefully you guys learn that too. Like, none of you guys deserve any of what happened to me. I don't deserve that. Nobody deserves that. You guys all deserve someone who's gonna treat you right and make you happy, and that's it. Someone who treats you right and with respect and doesn't play mind games and hurt you. So yeah, that's my story about how I was in an abusive relationship, or whatever you want to call it. I mean, I guess it was an abusive relationship. I don't know why I did that. I just really want to make this video to help people. I don't know, like, I just figured, I'm not even like embarrassed to talk about this stuff anymore. It's just like, I feel like a lot of people go through this stuff, and why hide it? Like, why be ashamed of it? Because I didn't really do anything to be ashamed of. But yeah, like, this video is really hard for me to make. I don't know like if it seemed like it was or not, but it really was like hard for me to make. Before I filmed this, I literally stared at the camera for an hour. I was like, what the fuck? Like, how do I do this? I don't know. And then I just started talking and then it started flowing. But this was hard to make, so if you enjoyed it, give it a big thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know like what you think of this, if you want me to do more story times about this kind of stuff. Yeah, I will see you guys soon. I love you so much. Stay awesome. And don't forget, be bold, be brave, and break boundaries. Stay awesome. I love you guys. Peace.